doing a fun project with my two girls. This is Miss Satine Lemans and this is Miss Eva Blondie. You can follow them on Instagram. They are really nice pin-up model. Today we are going to make 3 dresses from the same pattern but with 3 different fabrics. And we went to the fabric club to choose our fabulous fabrics, and we went with those amazing quilting cottons. So everyone has their favorite color. So we have a blue, a yellow, and a pink. And today we are making the puff dress pattern by This Is Kashi, the one that I already did for Valentine's Day, but we are doing it in fun colors this time. So let's get ready to sew! Yay! What I like about this dress is it's so simple to do. So my friend Annie, which is a very beginner sewist, will be easily able to make it by herself when she wants to make another one. So today she's learning about this dress. And for the bust, it's basically 3 pattern pieces, so really easy. And after that we have the skirt and the big puffy sleeve. It's quite simple. You just need to put the front centerpiece on the fold right there, and after that you need to put your 2 pieces here, and you will double them because you need to have a lining for the bust. And we will cut 2 of each pieces, and we'll be right back. After all this fabric cutting, it's finally time to sew the bodice together. I am pinning the front and the side front pieces right sides together at the front seams, and I will do that for both of the pieces. And after that I will sew the princess seams right sides together and attach the back as well at the side seams. As you can see, the princess seams are all nicely pinned. It's now time to sew them, and be careful and take your time while you're sewing them, because you want to make sure that everything is smooth under your presser foot and there's no bump and lumps, because it will really show on your bodice when it's all sewn up. So take your time and make sure to remove all your pins while you're sewing. I am making sure that there's no bumps under my presser foot, and especially since it's a curve, it's more tricky. So be careful and don't hesitate to stop and look under your pieces to see if everything is alright. And that's the secret for a perfectly well-made garment. You see here the seam is really smooth and perfect, so that really pays off to take your time and be careful with your seams. Now moving on to the side seams, I'm attaching the back pieces on the front pieces, so it's a simple straight stitch, and we have a complete bodice after that. And we will need to repeat the same process for the bodice lining as well. I am now clipping the princess seams curves, so be careful not to cut your stitching line, because you need to clip just right beside the stitching line. And after that you need to trim the seam allowance to 1/4 of an inch, and we will go to the pressing table and press all that up so it's a smooth line and really smooth curve. I'm using a lot of steam and a really hot iron because it's cotton fabric, and making sure that all the that the seam is open, so it looks very smooth on the outside. And don't hesitate to press the outside as well, and make sure that your iron is at the right temperature. And you can use a flatter product. This one is by the Flatter company, and it really helps out for pressing the seams really easily and make them flat. So right now I'm pressing the seams for the big puffy sleeves. It's to make the elastic channels, and it really helps out to make a really nice and crisp channel. Moving on to sewing the channels of the sleeves on the sewing machine. I'm just going through all the big pieces with a straight stitch, and I'm sewing the top and the bottom channel the same way. Now that we are done with the sleeves, it's now time to move on to the skirt and change our stitch length to the longest stitch. On my machine it's 5, but on yours it's whatever number it is. And we will run 2 lines of gathering stitches all along the big skirts panel. So I have almost 4 yards of fabric to gather on my skirt. And now that my 2 rows of gathering stitches are done, I'm moving on to gathering the skirt. You can pull the 2 bottom bobbin thread and make sure to push and pull the fabric to create gathers, and be careful not to rip off any stitches because you will need to gather all over again. Now that the skirt is all gathered, we are moving on to the elastic casing for the puffy sleeves. I'm using a safety pin, and I'm going to pin the safety pin into the elastic and use that to pass through the elastic through the casing channel, and making sure to not unravel the safety pin into the channel, because you will have to unpick all your seam and make sure to find out where the safety pin is at, and redo this all over again. It happened to me several times, so be careful and be gentle and take your time. So you just need to push the safety pin through the casing channel as so, and make sure to take your time and attach the end of the elastic at the other end so you won't lose it into the channel. And once you're done, you just need to remove the safety pin and pin the elastic on the edge of the casing and sew it in place so it's secure. Yay! We have one sleeve done. Look at that, so puffy and so big. So we need to repeat this same process all over again for the other sleeve. And I'm just taking the time to secure the elastic at the end of the channel. I will just make a simple back stitch several times on the elastic, and that will do the trick. Now let's move on to sewing the sleeves together. We will sew the underarm seam at the bottom of the sleeves until the notch, and we will repeat that for the second sleeve. And the top of the underarm seam will go on the bodice, so we will need that to leave that open. Here we go, we have a complete sleeve. I will now attach the sleeve to the bodice by finding the matching notches on the bodice with the sleeve. And it's quite simple, you just need to attach the all underarm seams to the bodice and stitch it as you will for any regular seams. And I'm super happy that this dress is so easy to make. I can't stop making it. It's my third dress so far, and I really love this ecial pattern. And in fact, I really love her channel. It's really well explained, and I love making her patterns. So I'm happy I found her on this platform. YouTube is a great platform to find new creators in the same niche as you or same interest. And I'm so happy I found this ecial, so I really encourage you to go check out her channel. She's amazing, so shout out to this ecial for the amazing work that she's doing here on YouTube and all other platforms. I've put her link in the description below if you want to take a look at her channel. It's now time to attach the bodice lining to the bodice with the sleeves. So it's really simple, just need to attach the top of the bodice with the top of the lining and sew them right sides together at the neckline, and just be careful not to catch the sleeves under the presser foot or in between the bodice and the lining. So take your time and stop. Make sure to check under the fabric, under the presser foot, if you feel any bunch and lumps. And if you take your time and you check your work while you're sewing, everything will look nice afterwards. Now that the bodice and the bodice lining are sewn together, I will understitch the bodice lining to the bodice. This way it will make easier to press the bodice afterwards, and it's really an important step that I won't stress out enough that you don't miss while sewing any garments, especially if you have a lining or facing, because it will really make your life easier at the pressing, and also it will look even more professional and you will have sharp neckline and really professional looking garments. A complete bodice. Look at that, guys. I'm really obsessed with the big puffy sleeve. This pattern every time does not disappoint with the sleeves. You know me, if you have been on this channel before, you know that I like a big puffy statement sleeve, and this pattern is exactly what I like. I love the small empire waist bodice, and I think it looks very nice and great. I'm super happy with the end result. Let's see how the two girls are doing with their sewing. So we see Annie and Maeva, they are at work. Everything is going smoothly for them, so I'm super happy that they are joining me into this dressmaking process. And now we are ready for the final step. It's the final stretch, guys. We are doing attaching the skirt to the bodice. We have a lot of fabric to attach, so I'm readjusting the gathers as I'm pinning the skirt to the bodice, and I'm making sure that everything is well gathered and it's even, because sometimes when you are gathering a skirt, it looks nice on the outside, but when you pin it, you have really different tightness in the gathers, and it really doesn't look good when it's all sewn. So make sure that you have even out all your gathers all around your bodice and your waistline. So as I said before, I'm still taking my time to sew it to the bodice, and making sure to check under the fabric, under the presser foot, and make sure to sew straight as well, because you don't want to have a wumpy waistline on your bodice. So be careful, take your time, and you will have the perfect result. And this is the final step. I have sewn the zipper and the hem of the skirt off camera. Now time for the reveal. Woo! Our 3 finished dresses. I'm so proud and happy that I had Honey and Maeva with me throughout this project. I'm sorry I lost the audio on this tape, so I will do a voiceover. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see more dressmaking project, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!